Hey guys, I want to dedicate this week's thought to my grandparents, my bubby, whose yahrzeit is this Sunday, and my Zayda, whose yahrzeit is this Monday. And may their neshamas ascend on high. This week's Torah portion, Parshat Mishpatim, is kind of a letdown. Last week's Torah portion, Parshat Yitro, the Jews received the Torah. God revealed himself in all his glory and spoke to the Jewish people directly. They were on a spiritual high. And then what follows? You have this week's Torah portion, Parshat Mishpatim. It's just packed with laws, one after another. The Elah Mishpatim, and these are the ordinances that God places before you. And it feels just like a crash landing. It's a lot of civil laws, dealing, people, how they treat each other, and that type of thing. But there's a couple beautiful lessons that could be learned from this. First of all, God is telling us that inspiration doesn't last forever. Yeah, it was beautiful. We got the Torah on Mount Sinai. It was a spiritual high. But now we have to translate that into action. We can't just live up in the clouds on a spiritual high. We have to translate that into our day-to-day life, in how we treat each other, how we look after each other. That is just as important as God revealing himself on Mount Sinai. And secondly, this isn't just it's not a list of do's and don'ts. Judaism has to talk to us. We have to connect with it. It has to mean something to us. It has to move us. The Hebrew word for Jewish law is halacha. The root word is halach, which means to walk, to move, to go. Judaism we have to connect with it in a way that it takes us somewhere. Not just through the day, not just through the week. Internally, where it moves us. And it's very easy and it's very common to get into a rut where our Jewish practice might just be monotone. It's very bland. We're doing the actions, we're going through the motions, but we're not connecting with it. We have to remember that Judaism is meant to move us in a way where it really means something to us. There's a Hasidic parable of there's a guy, Yankel, who's doing a wedding, his daughter's wedding, and then somebody comes running in and says, Yankel, you just received a letter from a faraway city. But Yankel couldn't read it, so he gave it to the town scribe. The town scribe reads it and says, oh yeah, he whispers something to Yankel, and Yankel faints. Everybody crowds around. What did you tell him? What did you tell him? The town scribe said, it says here in the letter that Yankel's father passed away. So why didn't the scribe faint? He read the letter. Why did Yankel faint? Because it was Yankel's father. It wasn't the scribe's father. It didn't move the scribe. It was knowledge. He knew something. Judaism can't just be knowledge-based, where we know what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do, and we go through, or we do it, and we don't do it. It has to move us. We have to internalize it. It has to become part of us, where it means something to us. So we have to find that part of Judaism. If we find ourselves in a rut, we have to find that mitzvah, that's something that speaks to us. It might be prayer for somebody else it might be Shabbat, or it might be candle lighting. Let's find something that really talks us and then go all in. Do it all the way. Let's really connect to it, because that's what it's all about connecting to God where it moves us. Shabbat Shalom.